Okay, so today we're back on this unit here. That's the one that had the leaky evaporator. So we're going to get this unit pulled out, and it's going to be this technician's first sealed system job, evaporator change. So it's going to be a great learning day. Okay, so he's got his floor protection down, doing things right. I just don't want to take a chance of damaging any floors, especially these floors. So I've got our floor protection down. We're ready to pull the unit. Okay, so we've got the evaporator cut out with R600a. If you do have enough tubing and you can cut them out by hand, cut them out by hand versus sweating them out. So we cut it out, and now we're going to sweat that connection apart because there's not enough to cut off and rejoin to the new evaporator. So we got our heat blocking putty in there to protect the back wall. We're going to direct our heat away from that, obviously, but we want to be preventative and protect that. So always use the hot block. And then we've got the flame resistant blanket underneath to catch any possible drips that could happen. Let's get unbrazing. Okay, he's got the new evaporator prepped. He's prepping inside the fridge now. So now that he has these sanded, the caps will go back on until he's ready to do his hookup. Sweet. Okay, so he's got his hot block putty all in there nice and protected. So he's going to go in and hit that suction line, and then he'll do the cap tube. Bring your heat back towards the cap tube a little bit. Okay, so he's got his suction line and cap tube brazed in. Great job. He's got a great shoulder on there, and he inspected it with a mirror and he gives it a pass. So I guess we'll check that out when we do our pressure test. But great job so far. Okay, evaporator's almost back in place, and you can see that hot block putty worked marvelous. There's no scorching, no nothing. So that stuff works like a charm. Okay, so he's all rigged in for his pressure test. So using the field piece probe, we're going to do a pressure test and see how his work is. Okay, so he's got his vacuum hooked up, and he's got his gas valves open on the pump, and he's going to wait to see our microns get below 2,000 before he closes in the gas valves. Okay, our vacuum's getting down there in evacuation. Things are looking good. So now we'll shut our pump off, close in, and we'll do a quick decay test. And if that passes, we'll be ready for refrigerant. Okay, so we're just slowly metering our refrigerant in. Very slowly. So we don't want to put that liquid right on top. With a lot of these fridges, they have inline dryer filters that don't allow you to hook up to the high side. There's not enough room to put on any kind of access valve. So even at the factory, these fridges are charged through the low side. So once the charge is in, we give it enough time to make sure that there's no liquid stuck in the compressor. And we also put it in very slowly. We had technical difficulty. We didn't show you the startup on the gauges, but everything went well. As you can see, we have our red tape indicator on our process port. I'm going to make sure that that's on there just to let the next technician know that it is a flammable refrigerant. Even though there's lots of warning labels, we don't want to take any chances. So we'll get this one back in the hole and we should be good. Okay, we got a great frost pattern on the evaporator. We'll get the back wall put in there, we'll do a couple temperature checks, and we should be good.